Hi folks, welcome to The Creative Nomad, presented by TrueAwesomeLife.com. I'm your host, JP Adkins, and I created this podcast because I want to tell the stories of the radicals, the ones who are out there making the world a better, more beautiful place, the amazing authors, artists, musicians, thought leaders, coaches, and yes, nomads who are out there living their true awesome lives and want to help others do the same. Are you ready to live your true awesome life? Go to TrueAwesomeLife.com and start your journey today.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Creative Nomad. I am so freaking happy that I'm here with Stephanie DeFaRekinLicious. Like, she is one of the most amazing people I know. I'm going to let her introduce herself, but I do want to apologize just a little bit. We are running a little bit late, and we're on a different time. All kinds of tech happened today. It's been one of those wonderful days, but thankfully, we are here. Not all your fault. Part of it's my fault. Don't worry. We are here. I'm a queer, and we're both fabulous, so it's all good.
Hail to the yeah.
So, Stephanie, please.
You froze. Oh my God, Jeff, I gotta take a picture of this. You froze. This is how you froze. Oh, Jeff, you're frozen. I don't know if anybody can hear me, but I am my name is Stephanie Mcpherson, aka SteFunny. One of my bestest friends in the whole world gave me that nickname several years ago because I'm a big silly honking goob. And I also run towards life with open arms, and she likes to tease me about that. But she also teases me about my sense of humor. And one day we're hanging out, and she's like, "You know what? Your name isn't Stephanie. It's SteFunny because you're so funny." So anyway, Jeff is still frozen.
Okay,
but yes,
I'm back.
Now I can hear you. Okay, I can hear you, but you're frozen. Okay, now I can see you. Could you hear anything I was saying?
I heard none of it. So it's going to be one of those days. I told you all it's been a tech day from the moment I got up. We're still having internet issues at the house. So I came up to the coffee house. I know that you guys hear all kinds of noise behind me. And so I came up to the coffee house. And obviously, the coffee house is going to have issues because I'm here in live. Yay.
So I was telling everybody like who I was, and I'm not sure. So I guess you didn't hear any of that. So maybe I'll repeat myself just for you, just so you have your bearings right. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what they heard it or not. But anyway, yeah. So I was basically my name is Stephanie Mcpherson, but my nickname, as you can see, is SteFunny, and that was granted to me by one of my bestest friends in the whole entire universe, Laura Rasmussen. She loves it when I say her name like that, like it just lights her up. Anyway, and we've known each other for literally almost 30 years, and we were in Myrtle Beach. We were somewhere, I can't even remember where, and she just looks at me and she's like, she's always teasing me all the time. Everybody teases me, which is, my daddy told me when I was a little girl and I came home crying and people didn't pick on you, it means that, people wouldn't pick on you if they didn't like you. So I took that to heart. So anyway, it's carried on in my adult life. But she's like, Stephanie, she's like, your name isn't Stephanie, it's SteFunny because you're so funny. So that's how I got the nickname SteFunny.
I love it. And, in my family, if we're not picking on you, we don't even know that acknowledge that you exist.
Exactly.
I have this really funny story from my cousin died, and it was sad. Don't get me wrong. It was horrible and crazy, or my aunt died. It was one of the funerals, and we were in Philadelphia. So I lived there for 2 years, and I worked at this place, and we were at where I worked. So of course everyone's coming up at me, and and it was a malt shop. So all the 50s music, 50s, 60s music is playing, and so Mustang Sally comes on. And my brother comes up and he's like, "Oh my God, that's so you're Mustang Sally," and for the rest of his life, he would bring that up and every so often would start singing Mustang Sally.
Mustang Sally.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
So it was just craziness, but that's just how my family was. They were all, and I was popular, of course.
I bet. It's funny. I mean, there's yeah, death is very very sad. But I remember I have a hilarious story. My uncle had a stroke, and he was in hospice care. Now, when I tell you about my uncle Tommy, he was at Waffle House, no freaking lie, every damn day. Most likely more than once. It might have been breakfast and lunch, or it might have been breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But I mean, like he had his seat. When he walked in the Waffle House, everybody knew. Oh, Tommy. Anyway, so he winds up having a stroke, and he's in hospital. No, I'm sorry, he's at the hospital. And of course, me being the health coach I am, and we're all characters. Like my mama's side of the family, they are all nuts in a good way. Like just the two sisters, when they get together, I mean, it was like it's tandem comedy team. But anyway, and I remember because Uncle Tommy was in a coma. And my mama, my daddy, my brothers, his sons, there were a couple other friends there, and we were in ICU. Okay. And the nurses, because we were all carrying on and laughing, even though my uncle is in a coma. I mean, because I was like, Uncle Tommy, no more Waffle House, no more Hardee's. It's Whole Foods, Trader Joe's for you, and everybody's laughing, and we're just like this cheerful room. Anyway, the nurses had to come by and be like, hey, I mean, like you could tell, like she was kind of laughing herself, like, hey, could y'all keep it down? We're in the ICU, and we were in a room. It wasn't like it was a curtain. Right. We had our own room, but it was it's like, oh, go figure. The frickin' McPherson and Williams and clan has to be told to come and calm down and be quiet in an ICU.
It's just your family and my family probably would get along really, really well.
Oh yeah, I love that. I love that. I love characters.
We were just talking. My nephew posted that the black sheep of the family check-in. I'm sure you saw it. It's been all over Facebook, and I was gonna post it like 2 weeks ago, right? And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna. I
haven't seen that, Jeff. I'm gonna have to check it out.
It's just a quick little. It says Black Sheep of the Family check-in. How's it going? And I was laughing because I'm like, I was gonna post it 2 weeks before. My nephew posted it, and I'm like, yeah. And he goes, yeah, we're all kind of fucked up here.
Yeah, I love it. I fucking love it. Yeah. I mean, you know what? Life is about living and laughing and just. I mean, I know we can't always be happy, certainly not, but just putting yourself in that mindset and that awareness of being intentional, with carrying out your day and not and just not taking things too seriously. You know what I mean? There are things that need to be taken serious, but having like I said, I tell people, like, my antenna, they're attuned to joy and happiness. Am I always joyful? No. Am I always happy? Fuck no. But I find more in my life because, what your antenna are attuned to is what you receive more of. It's the law of attraction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so important. I just finished a guide for that is called Living Your True Awesome Life Now, even if your circumstances suck.
Yeah.
Right. And it really is about looking at where you are now and what it is that you're how you're going to deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And how it's different than where it may not be where you want to be, but it's not a bad place.
Right. Yeah, it could be painful at that period in time, but again, like something I've done as being, which is why I'm a life coach, but something I've done for myself over my entire adult life is learn and cultivate those tools that enable me to persevere through situations, because we've all had our pull out the rug from under us, this flattening like a flounder situations, and and devastation and just pain. But it's like, okay, wake up every day and what do I want? How do I want to experience life? What do I want to feel? And at least and look for things to ensure that happens, whether it's writing what you're grateful for, or whether it's writing 10 things that you find awesome about your life, because there's always something to be grateful for, and there's always something amazing going on in your life if you choose. And when you wind up focusing on that, it trains the brain to, then again, look for that even through hard times, and you can find that joy or find that peace.
Yeah, it's so crazy, and it's so helpful. And it's not the not feel, right? It's not the not feel what's going on, not deal with what's
Right.
going on, because so many times you hear like what is called like um, toxic positivity.
Toxic positivity. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And, it's not that you don't want to feel all the stuff going
Right.
on, but it's not the only thing that's going on.
Exactly. Or denying what's
Yeah.
going on, or maybe not even, I know oftentimes when we're going through, really hard times, it's like you don't want to whine, bitch, and complain. And sometimes you kind of stop yourself from sharing, but sometimes it is necessary to share a little bit so people do see you as a human being and not somebody who's just toxically being positive and making light and like, oh, it's nothing. No, it's definitely something. And through that sharing of the situation comes an amount of freedom, or an amount of healing, or an amount of growth, and then someone else, like, looking in or watching or listening, is like, wow, I had the same thing happen to me. I'm going through the same bullshit. And look how, well, it's an inspiration. And that's where I found a lot of my inspiration in these hard times, is being intentional with what I'm watching, what I'm reading, what I'm listening to. Because it's like, I don't know if you know who Tom Bilyeu is. Tom Bilyeu.
Oh,
He has a podcast called Impact Theory.
okay.
And I know sometimes, at the gym, I'll be listening to his podcast, but it's people who, uh, oftentimes have really persevered and overcome some, rather tragic circumstances, or rather, real hard knocks in life, and where they are now in this place of plethora and abundance, and just thriving. And now they're out here empowering others through their story.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because it's about how you get through.
Hmm.
It's all about how you get through. We all deal with everything, right?
Yes.
And it doesn't diminish anyone else's
Right.
whatever, but we all have gone through some times that we had to get through and just go,
100%. Yes.
you know. Stephanie, so you have written this amazing book, and I've gotten to see a couple recipes out of it, which I think is amazing.
Yes.
And they were delicious. I've tried them, and I love them. But talk to people a little bit about the book, and what was the inspiration behind coming up with the cookbook?
Okay. It's called DeFaRekinLicious. Healthy is delicious. So, well, the inspiration book of the book comes from my cooking show several years ago. Okay, so I'll go back to like early in my adult life, when I realized I wanted to be on the Food Network. I have always loved cooking ever since I was a little girl. My grandmother and mother, but mostly my grandmother, inspired me to cook. And I love being in the kitchen with my grandmother. And so, that carried on all throughout my life, even like when my family, my mom and daddy would allow my brothers and I to stay up. Like, me was Monday night, Stan was Tuesday, Will was Wednesday. 30 minutes later than the other two had to go to bed. And during that 30 minutes, you got to choose whatever you wanted to do. Well, and within 8, 9, 10-year-old reason.
Mhm.
And I always wanted to prepare food. I always wanted to cook something or make food. So I've always had this huge passion for making delicious food. Well, then in my early 20s, I started not being able to just eat anything and all of everything that I wanted and look and feel the way that I was accustomed to.
Mm-hmm.
That was my reason. I'll just be honest. And I was like, I don't be thinking so. And fortunately for me at that time, I was dating what is considered a gym rat. And this guy was like, he's in the gym 5 days a week. He has a very strict eating way of eating. And he's like, I was complaining. And he's like, well, why don't you come to the gym with me? So him and his two roommates, I started going to the gym, and they started teaching me how to work out. And of course, I adopted the very strict, tuna, grilled vegetables, chicken, white rice, like real. And I was dedicated because when I'm on a path, boom, Katie bar the damn door. I'm doing it. That's just how I am. I'm balls to the wall about everything, everything. And I love the results, but soon thereafter, a couple years later, it's when I moved to Myrtle Beach, I wound up running across a subscription of the magazine called Cooking Light. Right around that same time is when I also ran across the book, The Empowered Mind. And I realized that through the answering the plethora of questions, I had a real passion and desire for wanting to empower and inspire people, to be healthy, to live healthy, to love themselves, and to be on this self growth journey. And that's when I started that. Well, then right around again the same time, it's like boom, 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 catalyst after catalyst after catalyst. I'm walking through the living room in the place in which I live with Laura, the girl who nicknamed me SteFunny, and Brad Patton, and the Food Network was on the TV. And I was stopped. I mean, paralyzed, just stopped in my tracks. And I don't remember who the chef was. This was like 1996 or 97. But I went, and I was in college and I was getting a bachelor's in biology at that time. And I'm like, oh, when I graduate college, I'm going to go into pharmaceutical sales and I'm going to go into surgical equipment. I want to watch surgery and I'm going to have my own restaurant and I'm going to be, I'm going to be hosting shows for the Food Network. Like I knew, it's like boom, 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 boom. So, I graduated college. I never did get into pharmaceutical sales. And there was a core value reason for that, which, I can get into a little bit later. But I did get into surgical equipment. I love being in the OR. I could eat and watch surgery. I'm fascinated, just elated outside of my skin, elated watching. And then, so I had some career disappointments. Talk about pull out the rug. Talk about flattening, career disappointments. And I started around that time, the Institute for Integrative Nutrition started rotating on my news feed, IIN, become a certified health coach. Well, I had literally been doing this for myself for, 15 years. So I'm like, oh, that's the universe. That's the universe tapping me on the shoulder saying, Stephanie, wake up, wake up, And so I took the course. I became certified a year later. And literally, Jeff, I was driving to the gym one day and I'm elated, when I'm driving to the gym, I've just got all this energy, and it was just like out of nowhere. I was thinking of the movie. Have you ever seen the movie Snatch? No. Benicio del Toro, Brad Pitt. He's a pikey. He's a bunch of they're a bunch of gangsters in Europe chasing around an 86 karat diamond. It's one of the funniest movies. And if you have ADD, which I do, no scene is longer than like a couple minutes, and it's 2 minutes of shit talking. Next scene, 2 minutes of shit talking. Next scene, everybody's chasing around this 86 karat diamond. Well, there's a scene that imprinted itself upon me. There's a weird way in which I talk and say people's names, as you've heard me repeat a couple of my best friends' names in a weird, quirky way already. And it was the scene where Turkish and Tommy, you got to watch the movie. You got to get on watch it tonight. Snatch.
I will watch it tonight.
It's a total guy movie. Guy Ritchie. Did you see Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he made Snatch in 2001. Okay. So anyway, it's where Turkish and Tommy go in to tell Bricktop that they lost Gorgeous George. Gorgeous George is a 300-pound, 400-pound, like bare knuckle boxer that got beat up by Mickey, Brad Pitt's character, little Brad Pitt, who one punch knocked him out. So they got to go tell the head gangster, the head meanest character in the movie, that they lost Gorgeous George. And Bricktop's like, well, where'd you lose him? It's not as though he's a set of fucking car keys, and it's not as though he's inconspicuous, now is it? That inconspicuous. I'm thinking about that scene. Maybe I just watched the movie the night before, and out of nowhere went DeFaRekinLicious. Because I want to start a cooking show. I'm just going to do it. DeFaRekinLicious. That's where DeFaRekinLicious started. Literally, like within the next day, within a couple days, I had my iPhone set up in my little gingerbread case, and I hit record, and I made a kale salad, and I did some dancing. And within like 24 hours, I had 1,700 views, and all my friends were like laughing their asses off. And that's how DeFaRekinLicious cooking show was born. And it started to take off. Obviously, soon it'll be millions and millions of views and followers, and people love it and being inspired by it. But the cookbook is, a lot of most of the recipes I have made on the DeFaRekinLicious cooking show, which is all about fun and inspiring people to be healthy and inspiring people to see that healthy food really is scrumptious, easier to prepare. And I've got a philosophy, guys. You can invest a little more moolah in healthier food and have a healthier body, or you can pay the doctor.
Yeah.
Prescription drugs, high blood pressure. I know so many people wants to lower their A1C, wants to lose weight, wants to, so that's, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things that I've kind of looked through, not an expert, but something that I've been introduced to is Ayurveda.
Ayurveda, yes.
And one of their main principles is food is either you can eat your medicine or you can take your medicine.
Right.
One of the two. And then I think that's really important. And I know the difference in my body when I eat the way I know I need to eat.
Mm-hmm.
I can feel it. I can see it. I can all of it. Right.
Right.
And lately I just haven't because.
Yeah.
Because.
Yeah.
I haven't had as much control over my diet as I normally would. So.
Right.
It's not been what I would like it to be. I'm looking forward to being back in the RV and traveling again, where I do have full control of everything. And, just I know the difference.
Mm-hmm.
I know the difference.
Mm-hmm.
And I will definitely be picking up your book. I haven't picked it up yet. I will be the first to admit I have not picked it up yet because I haven't.
But the recipes that you've seen me make on other shows.
Right, on other shows.
Like, I'm going to try that. Because I post recipes all the time. I post recipes all the time.
You're amazing.
Thank
you. If you're not watching our show, make sure you do. It's a lot of fun. She is absolutely amazing. And I hear you're doing a cooking class now? You're going to actually teach other people how to cook?
Yes. So, guys, June 6th, I'm going to start teaching, and that's a Monday night. It starts at 6:30 p.m. every Monday for 12 weeks, 12 consecutive Mondays. I'm starting a DeFaRekinLicious cooking class. And it's going to be so much fun. It's all online. There's going to be a lot of engagement. And I am literally, it's like so many people reach out to me and go, I want to learn to cook. Like, I can follow a recipe, but there's something different in like learning, like watching and being able to ask questions. It could be very interactive. People can, ask questions like, well, why are you using Greek yogurt instead of mayo? Tell me how Greek yogurt is healthier than mayo. Explain to me why, you're using almond flour as opposed to white flour. So that's a lot that I'm bringing to the table during this 12-week cooking class. And you get a hardcover copy of the DeFaRekinLicious cookbook, which I dropped. And it won't be signed because I'll be ordering it from a third party and having it shipped directly to you. And for those, there are like 85 out of the 100, because this is one of these special edition Gold Star Standard copies that I ordered. I ordered 100 through the publishing company.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, you can find it on Amazon, barnesandnoble.com. There's all these .com platforms. But and you can order your cookbook. And there was something I was going to say, but yeah. There's so many people who already have a copy of this. So if you already have a copy and you still want to come to the cooking class, and you'll get a second one. And that's a great gift for a friend or a family member.
I'm a friend. Oh,
yeah, there you go. Jeff's a friend. Jeff's a friend. Yeah. And, but yeah, I'm so super excited. I am just so through the roof. John Corbellini has been helping me, with the marketing and the advertising of it.
That's so awesome.
Yes.
I love John.
It's
another person that I have begged to be on the show and keeps putting me off. Now the next available one is like mid-June.
Oh, wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah, so people are signing up.
I have a question. Don't you usually have a woman on here too?
Nope, not this one.
Oh, okay. There's another show that you're on with a woman. What's her
I have
name?
Max
Max.
Jones. Yep, the Intuitive Entrepreneur. Once in a while, I'm on there. I produce 3 podcasts. I produce this one, which I host. This is the Creative Nomad. I also produce the Intuitive Entrepreneur, which is Max's show, and also No Home Training. And No Home Training is, I realize it's not good for my brand.
Oh, okay. What is No Home Training about?
No Home Training is a relationship show, basically, and she takes things that she found on TikTok and other places and really puts it up for people her panel to discuss. And sometimes I realized that my relationship ideas are very. I'm not a relationship coach. Number one, let's start there. I'm not a relationship coach, and I probably will never be.
Right.
For good reason. And part of it is I'm not ready for a relationship. I know I'm not really ready for a relationship. And so what I want right now is not necessarily anything that would be public consumable. And even if I did have, when I was in relationships, I realized that there were some things that were, my last couple of relationships were not pretty. So,
right.
So I have a very skewed sense, and it's all about communication. And I'm very upfront. I'm not looking for a relationship. I'm barely looking for a fucking friend at this point.
Right. Yeah.
If I know your name, you're lucky.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know what? And I've been there, Jeff. I have been there when I was, like I mentioned, not, that I was, going to go to pharmaceutical sales and surgical equipment. So in the 90s, when I was living with Brad and Laura, Brad had mentioned, you'd be a good pharmaceutical rep. And I'm like, what's that? And he explained the job, and I was like, oh, wow, that sounds amazing. And in my mind at that time, I ignorantly was like, yeah, and that's promoting health and wellness, And so when I graduated college, and with every ounce of my being became literally within an eighth of a hair over and over and over and over and over and over with these pharmaceutical companies. I mean, like when I would sit down in front of a manager, you could feel their energy, like just wanting to pull me on their team. Seriously. And these were 4, 5, 6 step right along, like 2-3 month long processes. And then at the I would be like, I've got it. My mom, I have her whole church praying for me. Everybody, everywhere I'd go to the gym. You get it. You're going to get it. There was so much excitement. And then I'm serious, y'all, at the last millimeter of an eighth of a second, another candidate for whatever, nothing ever having to do with me other than a couple of the driving record ones. And that was later. No, seriously. It's like, what the fuck? Like, how could I want something? And I know I'd be good at it and not get it over and over and over. And this went on for 3.5 years until one day I was sitting there at my girlfriend's house, Laura's house, and I was just flipping through her channels, and Kevin Trudeau's Natural Cures They Don't Want You to Know About was an infomercial. And I wound up sitting there for like an hour and a half and while I had been on the health and wellness journey since I was like 20, it was like, wait a minute. While pharmaceuticals and surgeries are certainly necessary at times, a lot of what people are taking pharmaceutical drugs for is all about what they're doing here or just their overall lifestyle.
I agree.
And I started to realize that I was fighting with every ounce of my being to be in a job and a career that was not in alignment with my core values.
And the universe wouldn't let you happen.
Exactly. Thank you. Exactly. It was like, no, Stephanie. And one of the most devastating is driving record. If y'all can tell, I have a lead foot, but it's not just a lead foot. I think it's more of a personality. I used to drive as fast as I could go until I reached the car in front of me, regardless of the speed zone. That's just how I was. You remember in Talladega Nights, I want to go fast. I was just addicted. Like I never need for speed. And but I used to talk my way. I have got numerous hilarious knee slapping, screaming, clapping, laughing, hilarious stories of me talking my way out of getting speeding tickets. But you get pulled 15 times a year, you're going to get yourself a ticket. It's like the law of sales. For every no, you're going to get a yes eventually. So I remember I did get a job offer, and my company car was on order. I received all my study materials. My company computer was at my house. The welcome letter from GlaxoSmithKline. I mean, and all of a sudden I get this letter of rescission because they do background checks after they hire you. And I got this, we're sorry, we're having to rescind the offer. And it was speeding ticket. There were no DUIs or anything really bad, but it was like speeding ticket. And I was like, so you talk about something that rocked my world. I mean, I wasn't suicidal, but I wanted to die. I mean, that was the worst word. It was like I'd been wanting it for so long, and it was almost there. And then all of a sudden, here, Stephanie, this is yours. And then, oh, I'm sorry, we have to take that back. You can't have that. And then it was soon thereafter that I happened to be at my friend Laura's and Kevin Trudeau's Natural Cures They Don't Want You to Know About. And I'm like, well, this is certainly a smack upside my head reality.
And it's funny because I'm living with this. I'm living that right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of this. You know, I got into the new motorhome, and 6 hours later, 6 hours later, my motor went.
Your motorhome did what?
My motor went into the motorhome.
Oh, I think I remember you sharing this about on Carol's Craft Cocktails. Yeah.
So, you know, I finally get in the motorhome. I'm finally not towing anymore. Everything's gonna be much better now. And then, nope. Just nope. And take a step back. What is it that you really want? Why are you doing this? You know, I really had to go, okay, what do you really want? What is it that really is going to be there? And, you know, and I think that I'm still working on that in some respects. Some of it I'm working on, some of it I'm still in the middle of. Right.
Yeah.
So, but it's an amazing process when you realize, okay, there's something else. What is it that we're trying to hear?
Right.
Thank you. And it's not go home. So my family's like, well, go home. I'm like, where the fuck is home?
Yeah.
Where's home? You tell me where home is. Right. Our family home has been gone for 20 years now. It's not like the home I grew up in isn't there.
Right.
My mom lives in a senior community. My dad lives with my brother, and my dad and his daughter all live together. So it's not like I'm going to be there. My sisters all have thousands of kids.
Yeah.
I don't have
thousands.
Right. You know, total for my immediate family only. My siblings, my parents, the step parents, and their kids is 33. Yes, 33. Maybe 34 now. Somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
Right? So that's just my immediate family. That's family dinner. You know, and then when you add my extended family, we were running halls for Christmas because it'd be 75 people. Easy, with a couple of aunts and uncles and a couple of cousins that decide to show up, you know, and that was just what happened. We all had family dinners. But yeah, it's like, what's home?
Right.
It's back to Philadelphia, where I lived there.
Yeah. Oh, I love Philly.
Yeah. I love Philly. It was one of my favorite places. I lived in West Palm Beach for a year. Maybe it's there. And so that was part of what this was all about. What the traveling was all about was like, where do I want to be? If you were to tell me right now, all right, you have to go and you have to move into somewhere stable and blah, 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 blah. I'd be like, okay, well, it's either going to be here in Tennessee because I kind of like it here.
Yeah.
Or Louisiana.
Ooh, like New Orleans?
New Orleans. Mm-hmm.
Oh, so what part of Tennessee do you live in?
Right now, I'm in Cookville, which is Tennessee Tech.
Okay.
And it's halfway in between Nashville and Knoxville. I would like to be a little bit closer to Nashville, to be honest with you. I would like that. But honestly, it's a cute little community, enough to do. There's enough there's 3 state parks within like 20 minutes of here. Like, I can get out if I need to. You could be in the middle of nature, like really super easy. But I'm in a little city that has if I got more involved in the city itself, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on. I just haven't gotten involved. I'm not supposed to be here. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But if I actually was in this community, like across the street, there's this really cool building. Like I'm downtown right now, and there's this really cool building. I'm like, I could totally see me buying this building and making it into something really cool. I don't know what it would be at, but it's just like a really cool building with an upstairs, would be an upstairs loft space. Like, and I'm staring at it, like, and I could totally see me being here. Like, that is one option in my life.
I love that.
You know?
I love that.
That is one reality in the multiverse. So, by the way, if you haven't seen Doctor Strange, it was pretty good. I don't know if it was worth 3D. Okay, so just throwing that out there.
Doctor Strange. I've heard of Doctor Strange. I know I've had, but I don't.
It's it's the latest Marvel movie.
Okay.
And it was very good. It's a very good movie. It's one you have to see if you're a Marvel fan. It's gonna, it leads into everything else. It was amazing. And it maybe just me. 3D doesn't impress me out. I always say I need to do the 3D, and every time I go out and I go, why did I do 3D? Why did I bother like having only this time that I could do this and only this thing that I could do?
Yeah.
Then more for something that wasn't. I don't know if it was worth it.
Right. The last kind of semi-animated movie that we went to was Free Guy. I love Ryan Reynolds, and
that was hilarious.
I loved the message in Free Guy, in that movie, Free Guy. Yeah,
get out of the routine. You're not in a simulation, people. This is not the simulation.
Exactly.
We're here to live a life.
Absolutely. God.
All right, SteFunny, I need you to tell people how to get in touch with you.
Yes. So, can you do the banner at the bottom?
I can, actually.
Yeah, because you can sign up. You can purchase my cookbook. There's a direct link to Amazon. But more importantly, you can sign up or at least learn even more than what I've shared about the cooking class. That the cooking class comes right up, a little intro video, and then you click learn more, and there's a page, your landing page, and then should you choose to sign up, just sign me up.
All right.
So it's D. So it's I'm sorry. So you have to spell DeFaRekinLicious, how it's spelled right there. So it's www.DeFaRekinLicious.com.
Okay. And you know what?
My phone number is there, as well as my email, my blogs. I have a free spring forward into fabulous play sheet that you just put your name and email, and it pops right up on your screen. And I don't have that up there to collect email addresses. I don't even think I have it set up that way. I'm literally want you, because again, Jeff, I'm going to be honest. I am passionate. I am out of my skin elated for people to be their highest and best selves. It's not a cliche. It's real. Because when you operate from a place of true self-awareness and love, self-love, it is insurmountable what it will do for your life. And that play sheet it's not a long laundry list of stuff to do. It's a simple little thing each and every day that you can choose to do for yourself. So that's there. I have an online course, Empower Your Mind, Empower Your Life. There's also a link to that. You can watch my cooking show. There's just a plethora of fabulousness at DeFaRekinLicious.com.
All right. I love it, guys. And you are just one of those amazing beings that I could talk to for 10 days, and we would still not get tired of them.
No, I know. And right back at you.
So we definitely check out DeFaRekinLicious.com. It's up there. I probably have it there's probably a link somewhere around here too.
And I'll also go into under the broadcast, and I'll post the link to my website.
Yeah, if it's not there, like I said, it probably is up there, because if you put it in, my assistant puts it in like a good point.
Okay. Yeah.
He's gonna smack me upside my head for saying that. I could not live without my assistant. I couldn't produce these podcasts without my assistant. I love Glenn. Thank you, Glenn. You are amazing. If you watch this, thank you. And look, guys, come on over on Friday. I hope to see you guys all this Friday over on the Freedom Sessions call in the Freedom Entrepreneurs United community. Wow, that's the first time I've said that, I think, out loud. I normally do a different call to action. That's kind of funny. So make sure you're there. Guys, this call is designed really to find out what it is that's holding you back. How can I help you hold you back? How can I help you get free? Right? And the people on here have been absolutely amazing. We've had tons of breakthroughs. So check it out over in the Freedom Entrepreneurs United community. And the Freedom Sessions call every Friday at noon. All right. So,
and I got to have you on Empowered Conversations.
I can't wait.
Yes, I'm headed to Arizona on Thursday. You know, I'm co-hosting that retreat this weekend. And so there's not Empowered Conversations this week or next week, but I got to get you on the docket.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait. All right, guys. So you guys have a great day. I will see you guys. Make sure you check out Wednesday, creativenomad.com for our great guest. I can't remember who it was, as we're still going in before the live shows. So check that out and know that you guys are all loved. I'll see you guys soon.
Thanks for listening to The Creative Nomad Show. If you have any questions about this or any other episode, go to creativenomadshow.com. There's also a link at the bottom. If you are a radical and would like to be a guest, you can apply to be on the show there. Thanks again, and know that you are loved. Awesome Life, we look for the world changers who want to live in creativity, authenticity, and profitability whenever, wherever. So check out TrueAwesomeLife.com and let's get started.